Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us here today on the YouTube channel here for Asset Strategies. I have a wonderful guest, a very good friend, as we refer to each other, our brother from another mother, Jim Woods. In these chaotic times with a lot of different things going on internationally, geopolitically, and domestically, with the new administration, all the changes that are coming, I go to one person and one person alone to kind of make sense of all that chaos because um, as you'll get to know Jim, if you don't know him already, he's an incredible mind when it comes to the markets and the macro and everything. And more importantly, he's a calming presence where he kind of puts it all together, kind of breathes in, doesn't let it overwhelm him, and he just kind of spits out some truisms that I think are useful to all of us, whether it be for investing or just living life. Jim Woods is the author of a ton, or the editor of a ton of newsletters. For investing and so forth through Eagle Publishing, the newest of which is Crypto and Commodities Trader. We're going to have an offer, by the way, for that at the end of this little interview. But I wanted to try to tap into your mind there, Jim, if you will. First of all, welcome. Thanks for joining
Hey,
us.
thank you so much, Richard, and I'm honored that you feel that way about me.
Uh,
You know,
is well earned. But
yes, thank you,
I
thank you.
kind of want to touch your brain amid all this chaos. And I
Yeah,
just kind of want to get I don't know if it's 30,000, 10,000 foot, view of what's going on with the new administration here in the US. President Trump's been in power now for a little over a month. As we're recording this, and there's all this talk about tariffs and deportations, and Doge is in the news daily, whether you're on the receiving end or the losing end of this, we'll find out. But what are your thoughts with kind of all the uncertainty and the chaos that's this creating in the marketplace right now?
yeah. Well, there's a famous musician named Peter Frampton wrote a song called "Wind of Change," winds of change,
I think it was
and
redone too, wasn't
yeah,
it, in the 80s?
he said the sweetest fragrance it brings the winds of change. So right now we have a fragrance of change out there. And for the most part, I think that change is going to be pretty positive, but it's not going to be without transitional pain. And we've already seen that in the market. So when President Trump was elected, the market spiked up in anticipation of a pro-growth policy, lower taxes, lower regulations, and possibly some government efficiency moves. And so far, we've seen some of that. We've also seen the markets react to what is the one thing that the president did talk about, and it hasn't really happened quite yet, and that is tariffs. Now, my readers know this already, and yours will find out in a moment that I am a big opponent of tariffs. I think that tariffs are no more than a tax on the American people. I mean, not just like a tax on goods that we want to bring in, but a tax on our free choice as free market players. Okay. If I want to buy something, I'm a company, I want to source something out from another country, I should be able to do that without being penalized for doing that. You're already taking a lot of taxes from my profits and my personal income. So why would you want to tax me even more in a punitive way so that to make me possibly buy something from another place that would be inferior, a higher cost? So this meddling in the markets is not a good thing. I wish it didn't happen. I wish it wasn't happening now, but so far it hasn't had time to be like super impactful. But see, the market doesn't care about that. The market is pricing in future earnings. So when the market looks at the uncertainty that these tariffs policy and possibly like punitive and reciprocal tariffs is now the thing. When the market sees that, the market gets scared and the market doesn't know what to do. So the market goes into what we call risk off mode. And risk off mode means selling.
Yeah,
and it also means going into other assets that aren't subject to that, such as your expertise, gold, commodities, things like that. So with this new service that I've had now for since September, uh, we're taking advantage of these areas, the different opportunities in commodities and in cryptocurrencies, which is another alternative asset class that isn't directly linked to factors in the equity markets like tariffs. Now, so far we've seen crypto be a risk on type of asset, and it's for people that are willing to speculate and going into trends that are hot at the moment. But there's no reason why crypto couldn't be divorced from that kind of thing, because you're not going to get taxes on cryptocurrencies. In fact, that's one of the things I think we're going to touch on later. Maybe is just that the administration has a pro cryptocurrency posture, which I am very much in favor of. So I don't like the tariffs, but so far I think things are going to be managed properly. We're not going to get tariffs to the point where we're going to have a recession, I don't believe.
Gotcha.
So, and then the thing with Doge, I mean, I'm a libertarian minded person. Uh, so we've been as libertarians for the last 50 years, we've been wanting someone or something to cut the budget, to slash inefficiency, to make things less crazy and bloated than they are in Washington.
I've
Now,
lobbied for a bulldozer just to push it all into the
there you go.
Potomac and
Well,
start over again.
well, now that bulldozer is electric powered from Tesla, by Elon Musk. And now you can like or hate Elon Musk. I happen to think he's a brilliant guy that is becoming increasingly quirky and increasingly bizarre, actually. But what he's doing is not a bad thing
Yeah.
in principle. Now, is he causing chaos? Are people like unfortunately losing their jobs and maybe they don't deserve to? Yeah, that's all bad in my opinion. But the idea behind a Doge, like behind someone coming in there and trying to make a bloated operation less bloated, or a more efficient operation is a good thing. Nobody should be opposed to making some organization a better organization. None of us in the private sector would hesitate to do that at a regular basis. Every year we evaluate, well, do we have enough employees? Do we have too many? Are we making enough profits to justify this expenditure? We all do that on a monthly basis when we have a real, free market business. But the government doesn't work like that. The government just keeps hiring and hiring. And then when they need more money, they just take it out of our pockets. Well, we're done with that. We don't want that any longer.
Well, I think we voted and we said, personally, that's a problem.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I do have an issue with that. I think the biggest people that are going to argue with this are either those where they see their funds being cut off, or those that just don't appreciate the way it's being done. That maybe
Yeah.
there's a better way to do it, but if there's a better way to do it, why haven't we found it yet? And
Well,
at
that's the
least we're
thing.
doing something.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think, I mean, if you approach this situation with a status quo Washington mindset, all you're going to get is more spending. You're going to get a blue ribbon commission that wants to spend more money to fix the problem of spending more money.
Or to research how to fix it whenever.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we'll get a white paper on how to reduce spending, but we won't
This is
actually
worth
reduce
$100 billion.
spending. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and we all know the deal, and no one's under any illusion that wouldn't be the case. Now we're seeing actual cuts, actual people, being laid off, actual like, you know, steps to try to fix it. So I think that's a good thing, even though it does come like all things in life. There's the bitter and the sweet, and that's just the taste of reality.
Swords are double-edged.
Exactly.
Let's move on.
Okay.
I'm with you there, and I think those are great insights. And I think we need to sit there and watch and see what develops, and deal with that as it comes. You mentioned crypto,
Yes.
and crypto. I don't know if they're getting what they wanted just yet. I think they're waiting because they're in line for what
Right.
they've been promised. But I tend to believe that the crypto community is a big reason why President Trump might be in office. I think his embracing the crypto community won him a lot of votes that he might not have gotten otherwise. What do you think in that environment is the hottest uh, area, if you will.
Yeah.
What do you think's coming that would be beneficial from this administration?
Okay, great questions. So you're right about the crypto community embracing Trump. Trump was very smart to embrace the crypto community because years ago he wasn't. He was calling it a scam, this and that, and he was
He's
persuaded
had to come to
otherwise.
crypto moment.
He had his crypto moment. He had his awakening. I think some smart people like Michael Saylor and people like that helped to persuade the president that crypto's a real asset, a real thing, because it is, and the technology behind it is real and can be used in multiple ways, and it is being used in multiple ways, especially the blockchain. So there's a couple of things that I think are pro crypto and tailwinds that are developing. Like you said, hasn't really developed yet, but President Trump's only been in office for like a month and a half, something like that. So the resignation slash being forced out of Gary Gensler at the SEC was, I mean, Gensler decided to leave before before he was going to get the axe,
Yeah,
because he was very anti crypto and very pro crypto regulation. He did not believe in it as an asset class at all, and he was very obstructive toward crypto. The new SEC chair is going to be Paul Atkins. He hasn't been yet officially confirmed, but he is very pro crypto, and he's a very smart guy. And he was a SEC chairman before, so he knows the job.
gotcha. He doesn't have to
So
learn his way
yeah,
around.
yeah, he doesn't. There's no learning curve. He can hit the ground running, and I think he will. And he's a very, very. I've met him before, and he's a smart dude. So I'm happy about that from a regulatory standpoint. And actually, I'm one of those guys that reads the party platforms before when they're having when they're running up in the election. And one of the platform planks in there was to unleash cryptocurrencies and stop the regulation on Americans trying to own this asset class. And I expect that to happen. But the biggest driver, and this is from all the people I know that are in very deep and make their living in the crypto industry, is if we have some kind of strategic reserve of cryptocurrency, which
Yeah,
means the government is buying crypto, just like the central bank buys gold, and central banks around the world are buying gold. That's, you know, that better than anyone. That drives the price up. And if we have a strategic crypto reserve, or a sovereign asset, a sovereign wealth
sovereign fund in
of
crypto.
sorts,
Yeah,
then that would definitely be something that is extremely pro crypto, bullish crypto.
gotcha.
But there's other ways. The way I see it too is you don't just have to own a cryptocurrency, buying a wallet, and knowing that is not the best way to do it, in my opinion, especially for mainstream investors that have never bought it before. If you're a 20-year-old crypto bro, then yeah, go ahead and do that. But if you're investors like in our age category, we've owned equities,
Careful.
we own we own, yeah, exactly. We own physical gold, okay. We own stocks, we own some treasury bonds, we own mutual funds, ETFs, things like that. Well, you can get the same exposure to crypto, virtually the same exposure, only even easier, from exchange traded funds that are pegged to either the spot price of Bitcoin, or even better, the companies that are in the crypto space that are making it possible. Like, for example, mining stock, crypto miners. Okay,
Crypto
how do you
miners,
generate companies out there that are like solving the calculations and doing it at a low cost that are
power
making
generation,
profits?
right?
Yes,
Things of
power
this.
generation. Yes, exactly. Power generation companies, um, companies that are in the blockchain itself, that are like software companies that are enabling the blockchain, even like HVAC style companies that are cooling these big server farms. That's another way of playing it. So these are the kind of companies that we've been playing and profiting from in my crypto and commodities trader service. So that's one way to do it on the crypto side that I really like. It's the tried and true picks and shovels play. You know this, like in
Yep.
the gold rush of the 1800s, the people that really made the money
Blue
were
jeans.
blue jeans, Levi's. Levi's got Levi's became a huge like a household name because people wanted to buy blue jeans because they lasted longer and
When they
they
went
fit
panning for gold.
well and they looked cool and you could sit out there all night panning for gold and they'd hold up, you know.
Yeah.
So the picks and shovels plays are another way to do it, and fortunately I have the expertise in knowing which picks and shovels plays are better than other picks and shovels plays, and that comes from 3 decades of stock analysis. So
There you go. There you go. Um, we have just got a little time left. So briefly, I
yeah.
want to touch on something near and dear to my heart because I know you have a thought on gold and silver and maybe the role they're playing right now. With all this these all new all-time highs, but in a market where there's no investors, what's your take on gold right now
Yeah,
and silver?
I'm a bull on gold right now. I think gold is I've referred to gold as the new Bitcoin,
The new
meaning
Bitcoin.
meaning
Is that the
and the
cart
reason I
pushing the horse or what?
yeah, exactly. And the only reason I say that is because you know this as well, but our viewers may not realize that gold is the best performing asset class by far in the 21st century, up what 900%
Yeah,
over the
little
last
over.
a
Yeah.
little over 900%. Equity is maybe 300%, depending on what measure you use. Now, Bitcoin, of course, is gone off the charts as well, performance wise. But we're talking about traditional asset classes and not like
Yeah.
this new thing,
Established,
right?
mature market.
Established, mature asset classes that you can hold in your hand, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so there's several tailwinds on gold right now. There's inflation, which is still persistent,
Yeah.
and even though we've gotten a little bit of a handle on it over the last couple of years, it still continues. Okay, that means gold is still going to continue to go higher. We have spending in the government. At the time we're filming this, we had just gotten a congressional bill
Another
that was
big, beautiful
loaded
bill.
as hell. I mean, we're going to spend a ton of money, and that's
Increasing
not going to
defense,
change.
increasing money to
Everything's going to
the
increase, and at the
borders.
same time, we're
Yeah.
going to have
Cuts.
likely have tax cuts. So that means the budget deficit even higher. That's good for gold too.
Yeah.
And then we have the geopolitical uncertainty. Somebody once told me that to ask myself if the world is getting safer or not, and I don't think it is. All you need to do is open up any newspaper if people still do that, which I still do,
Any internet
and,
browser, you name it.
and yeah, or your phone or whatever it is, however you consume news, and you can see that the world is a very volatile place.
Yeah.
And one area might be calming down, when another area is flashing up. So it's you're always going to have that global uncertainty. And what asset class is proven over 5,000 plus years now to hold up and to deliver value for investors? It's gold, right?
Not tulips. I know that.
Yeah, it's not tulips. It could be golden tulips, but it definitely have to be
Got to
gold.
be in gold though. Uh,
So, and silver is the same way, even though silver is not really a store of value kind of investment per se. We use silver. We've traded silver. We bought calls on silver ETFs and made money on that. So that's the way we're playing things now. We're looking at gold and silver. We're looking at baskets of commodities like the DBC, which is the basket of like all the big commodities. These things, all these tailwinds that are fueling commodity prices, are we're going to take advantage of in this newsletter, because
gotcha.
it's opportunity for investors to actually make a lot of alpha in a short time, if you know what you're doing, if you know how to pick your spots, as it were. So gold's at the heart of that. So we own gold, we love gold, and we're going to keep on buying gold because the tailwinds are there for sure.
Well, I'm going to keep buying your newsletter. And I think people can see in the last 15 minutes or so, why I go to you to kind of get a
Thank you.
perspective on things. We appreciate you. Uh, Anybody listening to this YouTube broadcast wants to take part in this new newsletter, the Crypto and Commodities Trader. I understand you've got a fantastic deal for them. What do you
Yeah,
got
we
going
do.
on?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for that, by the way. Yeah, we have an amazing deal that I kind of had to cajole my publisher for this, but we did. We together we managed to get this deal. So
Okay.
normally the this is a trading service, it's a higher end trading service. So normally we charge $1,995 for a year. Okay, but for asset strategies and for our favorite people, we cut it down to $995 a year. But we wanted to go a little bit further than that because, especially if you're watching this, we know you're a serious person. So we have a special $399 for the first 6 months.
Wow.
So that's
That's
our
less than a
lowest price
quarter.
we've offered.
It's
Yeah,
less than a quarter.
that's like a quarter price. So that's that, and I know you'll have information on how and a link. That's
Wow,
great
what an amazing
because
deal. Folks, try him out. I've known Jim for several years now. He's the real deal. He's been doing this a lot longer than I've known him. In fact, I read him for years when he was ghostwriting for somebody else that I read. And I didn't know all along that I've been reading Jim for decades. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic resource, and I hope you take advantage of it. And Jim, thank you so much for spending some time with us, sharing your knowledge, and helping us try to make sense of what's going on around us right now.
Yeah, thank you. It's an honor to be with you and to be with your listeners, and you're the real deal as well. So thank you so much.